Hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I'm your host, Ed Troxel, aka Tech Man, and I am here today to talk about marketing your business. There's been a lot of different things going on this week around feelings and how we market our business. That's what I was inspired to talk about today. So the title's kind of generic, but that's okay. We might spice it up after this show. If you're new around here, let me welcome you first. For those returning, hello, welcome. I see you. Even if you're watching the replay. For those who are new, though, let me just mention how the show works. It's a talk show. We go live once a week on Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the page. I repurpose all of these episodes on my YouTube channel as well as on my blog, so you're never lost or without any of this content. And also, I want you to not only show up, but I want you to deliver and engage in the comments. So even if you're watching the replay, be sure to say hello at the very least. I want you to go past that, though, if you can, and connect not only with me, but others as well, especially if you're watching the replay, because that's big. A lot of you will catch the replay. So I want to make sure that we all stay connected. And the way the show works is I go over some random news, and then we jump into today's topic, which is going to be about marketing your business, but specifically around influencer marketing and how things can go south real quick. Now, you might have heard my latest Ed Talk Radio, that's my podcast, episode where I talked a lot about this, and we'll be picking up some of those pieces and talking about them here in the show. But first, we're going to talk about random news. Now, this one's interesting. I got a little something for the kids, I got something for the adults, and then we go into business. I mean, I make everything business relatable. Trust me, everything is business. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Now, my friend Rashonda had posted this on her Facebook page, and I thought, oh, I don't know what Baby Shark is, but what I do like about this is right down here, see if I can get it any closer for you guys, on the display case here, it has the Baby Sharks, which obviously this is a kids show, I think, but maybe it's just music. Who knows? Unless you know, let me know. Tell me in the comments. But what I liked about this display is that it not only talked about, the Baby Shark up here, it showed the friends, it showed the age, it said a little tune here, but look at what they put here. Squeeze for the hit Baby Shark song with over 3 billion views. That is what caught my attention. That's that curiosity marketing. I don't know who Baby Shark is. I hear from the quick comments that we had on the post that it's a very addicting song and kids love it, right? Which is probably why Walmart priced it at $17 almost, because they know that the kids are going to want this and the parents are going to have to buy it for them. But this part right here is what sparks my curiosity and is what makes me want to go research what this song is. Who is Baby Shark? Why are they so popular? Why did they have over 3 billion views? Like, what is it about that? Because that is that curiosity marketing. That is what hooks your audience. So that's something that you want to pay attention to right there. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, does that spark your curiosity? Because it does for me. Now, this next story, I think you're really going to enjoy. For those who enjoy a cocktail here and there, there is a new machine that you can get for your house that's basically like a Keurig, where you get pods to make your favorite drink, and it will make your favorite drink. How cool is this? How many of you are already thinking, yes, I need that for my house? They also market it, so it is $300. However, look at what they market it. The pods are about $4. So the whole marketing around this is that it's cheaper than going out and getting a drink at the local pub or bar. So you could have all these fancy cocktails right there in the comfort of your home and have your friends over. So very interesting. Let me know how many of you guys are interested in that and are already ready to buy that. What's cool about this idea is that if you had this at home, think about it for your business, how you could start inviting people to the house and enjoying, kind of like those Tupperware parties that they used to have. I don't know if they still have it. If you guys have it, awesome. Candle parties. There's all these jewelry, leggings. I think they're all still around, but there's these different types of parties, and how much fun would this be at the next party, So think about that. And then if the Baby Shark song drove you crazy and you had something to drink and you were like, okay, I'm done. I just need to detox and just be free. Well, good news. Doctors in Scotland are now prescribing nature for patients. How cool is this? So I wanted to real quickly come down here and point this out because as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, it is so important that we take care of ourselves. Not only our business, not only the people around our business, in our business, all of that, but us. We have to take care of ourselves because if we don't, everything is going to fall apart and then we're really in trouble. So please make sure to take care of yourselves. I don't think we talk enough about that. And this is very interesting here. The evidence for the benefits of nature on mental and physical health are numerous. If you spend 90 minutes of your day outside in a wooded area, there will be a decrease of activity in the part of your brain that is typically associated with depression. Spending time in nature not only reduces blood pressure, anxiety, how many of us get anxiety around email notifications, Facebook messages, all of these things, right? And increases happiness, but it reduces aggression, ADHD symptoms, improves pain control, the immune system, and per a summary of the research regarding the health and benefits of nature, there's much more we don't know and are figuring out every day. So point is, get outside. So even if you work your 9 to 5, go outside on your breaks. I know so many people who will just sit there and continue on the computer. I used to work for a magazine. Everybody was this for 8 hours. 8 hours. The only time they got up was to go get a cup of coffee and maybe go to the bathroom. Maybe get lunch, but usually they had it with them. So all they had to do was just literally pop it out of their bag and eat at their desk. So I know a lot of you, both 9 to 5 and working from home, are in that same boat. So please make sure to take yourself outside. Walk around. I always say a minimum of 10 or 15 minutes outside because the first 10 minutes, you're really still on that high, thinking about that email, that text, everything that you were just doing. And it's not till about around 15 minutes in where you start to relax and then you can keep moving. So keep that in mind. Now, jumping into today's content, I want to show you this. So you might be, if you guys are missing my post from the business page, I'm telling you, you missed a lot of good stuff this week. So you may want to spend some time this afternoon, this evening, tomorrow morning, whenever you're watching this, you may want to spend some time scrolling through my Facebook page here because there are some amazing posts in terms of the content and the message behind them that you need to be a part of. And when you see it, let me know in the comments so that way I know that you saw it. And the reason I share that with you is because this topic, which we're going to talk about today, is a big one. And it was about this fitness influencer who has over 500,000 followers, which that's always the dream, right? That's where everyone says, oh, I want so many followers. I need to have so many likes. And I'm always the one saying, no, you don't really need that. You don't want that because that doesn't mean anything unless it translates to sales and relationships and actually real people engagement, right? So right here we have our not ours, but a fitness influencer who is getting a lot of attention right now because her clients, her customers, feel like she's been scammed, or they've been scammed, that they've been scammed. And so this whole article, which we'll look at in a second, goes on to talk about why they feel scammed. But I want to point out why you guys want to browse some of the posts that I did this week, because look at this engagement on this post. there are some amazing detailed comments from a lot of you who are explaining exactly what was going on with this article, like what she could have done, what she should have done, what she didn't do. Like, it's amazing what you guys have written in here. And if you're not participating in this conversation, you're really missing out. So definitely check that out. Look at this. So much fun having a conversation with all you guys about just this one post. So be sure to check that out. Now, if we go over to this article, this is where we'll go over a few of the details here, and I'll kind of, give my 2 cents, because a lot of you had asked about my 2 cents publicly going on live like this. So the fitness influencer is on Instagram, and she's being accused of not sending people the product they purchased. She also was called out by people in her Facebook group, which is a private Facebook group with thousands of members, and they feel like she's a scammer, that she's lying to them, right? And then she did an apology video, but people aren't convinced by that. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, I don't have the whole story, so I really need to read that article, which you do, because it's very important to understand what's going on with that example there. But the reason I bring this up is because you have to realize, as a business owner, that everyone is online. Now, I'm going to back up for a second and say, not everyone is online. And you're going to be scratching your heads thinking, okay, this doesn't make any sense. Hey, Mary, you're going to be thinking, this doesn't make any sense, Ed. You just said everyone's online, and now you're saying not everyone is online. It's true. So everyone is online when an issue comes up. I guarantee you, anytime there's an issue that comes up, even if they're not online, say your grandma or grandpa, and they're not into tech or anything, but if an issue comes up and they can't reach anybody by the phone, guess what? They're going online. They may have you go online for them. They may have the neighborhood, friend or kid or whoever go online. They will make a point to get online. Everyone is online, especially when an issue comes up. Now, not everyone is going to be online every day like you and me, right? I mean, this is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm researching and I'm connecting with all of you online all day long, and I love it. So I'm always online, but not everyone necessarily is, because that's not their job. So that's why I say that everyone is online and not everyone is online. And so hopefully that makes sense, because you have to understand that now that technology is in the palm of our hands, and it's so easy to take a picture, to go live, to talk, and just share our thoughts to whoever tunes in, you better believe that if there's a problem with you and your products and your services, and you're not handling them right away, people are going to talk. They're going to start talking. You might think, oh, well, I got away with it for one time and nobody said anything. And then another person comes up and you're like, well, nobody said anything there. Trust me, the truth always comes out. People always talk, especially when you are online, when you're supposed to be an influencer, right? In this example. So it's one of those things that you have to pay attention, and you have to understand that your customers are always going to be online, even if they're not currently online. They will make it there. Welcome, Lindsay. Lindsay says, yes, they go, quote, or they quote, go online when you mess with them. When people feel like you've scammed them, you have really sunk your truth boat. Exactly. People get so mad out loud. It's true. And we see that a lot on Twitter. If anybody is on Twitter, you'll see that a lot. I think maybe on Facebook, it's a little different in terms of we don't see it as much in terms of just posting a comment. I mean, we do, but it's not like Twitter. It's a different situation. But with Facebook, we have the power to go live. And we are able to really just say, oh, okay, I don't like this. I don't like the way that you're treating me. You're not getting back to me soon enough. Boom, I'm going to go live and talk about you. So we have to understand that people will go online and they will make take those actions and make those comments. So you as the business owner has to make sure that you are taking each and every inquiry seriously, and that you try your best to get back to them. And you may be overwhelmed. So the reason I'm getting into the overwhelmed part is because in her apology video, she talks about being overwhelmed, especially in the beginning, because when she started, influencers wasn't really a thing, and it just grew so big so quickly, and that, to be fair, things like that can happen with business. You try to be prepared as much as possible, but you just don't know when it's going to just take off or not sometimes, right? So you kind of have to just roll with it, but at the end of the day, you have to remember that it's you and your name and your face and behind the brand. It doesn't matter what the product is or the service is. At the end of the day, it always comes back to you. So you need to make sure that you do the best you can to get back to people. And if you know, like, let's say you got 10, 20, 50, 100 people who are trying to get a hold of you, and you're trying to respond to them individually, and you know it's a big thing. So, for example, this influencer, why not go live in your group, which is what she had, and say a public announcement. I hear you guys. I have a full inbox right now, and I am doing my best I can. Be transparent. Show up, deliver, and engage with your people. They will understand if you address the problem and if you are genuinely concerned and you're genuinely going to help them. So make sure that you do that and you have the power. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with email or private messages, then go public with it. Go into your groups. If you have a Facebook group, go on your YouTube channel, whatever it is, but be public about it and share that with them. So that way they feel like you notice them, that you hear them, and that you're working hard to get to them. And also get help. Ask for help because you're going to need it because you don't want to be having that sinking boat, right? And so the other thing that this influencer was talking about is, a lot of the negative comments that were coming up. And apparently she was deleting some of those comments. Now that's a really, really fine line that you do not really want to walk. Because if somebody leaves a comment that you don't necessarily agree with, you have to ask yourself before deleting it, is deleting it the right choice? Because if it's inappropriate and it's just vulgar, then, chances are it's probably a good idea to delete it because that's not okay. And then maybe you private message them to let them know that you had to delete it because that's not the kind of, language you want on your page or whatever. So really make sure to address it. But if you're just going through and you're deleting just comments that just are saying, negative things about you, that's not a good look because that's also what people called her out for. They understood that, or they saw that she was deleting those comments. And how does that make you feel? Right? When you're frustrated and you're really mad because you've already paid for something that you haven't received and the person's not getting back to you, how does it make you feel when you start to see that negative comments are being deleted? Like, it's crazy, right? And then you get really mad and you're like, oh, no. And so as a business owner, you don't want to be put in that position. You don't want to be put in that position. So Lindsay says, it's like you're saying, quote, show up, deliver, and engage. Yes, it is, Lindsay. Good job. I have to take a sip of water because this is like a really hot topic. So really understand that while it's easy to delete something, it's not so easy to come back from it. And so you really want to make sure that you make that decision before you hit the delete button because people notice. People notice. They're watching us, even if they're not commenting like you guys. There's a lot of you who are watching this or listening to this and may never comment. You may never share it, and that's okay. I don't know that you're watching or listening officially because those are the actions you have to take in order for me to actually notice. But I know for a fact that there are a lot of you that will watch and listen to this and you're just absorbing, which is fine. But know that your customers and your audience are doing the same thing for you. So you have to pay attention to that. Let's see, what else did I want to mention about this? She also had the apology video, which, okay, so I'm gonna mention this part, and we'll go with positive intent here because I want a benefit of the doubt. So I watched the apology video, wasn't that impressed with it. I don't know this person, by the way, so I'm not going to say too much about it in terms of whether she was genuine or not. But I wasn't too impressed with it. What was interesting is I watched it on YouTube. So YouTube has the video, the title, then the description, which is usually just a little bit of the copy, and then you have to hit the button to actually reveal the rest, and then related videos and comments. So I went down to the comments right after the video because I wanted to see what people were saying just to kind of get an idea. And a few of them were saying how it was ridiculous that she was trying to sell her products on her apology video in the description. And I was like, oh, what? I need to check this out. So I went back to the description and I saw that, in fact, she had her website, she had some other products there in the description. And I was just thinking, oh, that's not good. That's not good. Now, here's where the benefit of the doubt comes in. This is where that positive intent, okay? There are ways to have information auto-populate on YouTube when you upload a video. So, I'm going with the positive intent that she didn't realize that that had popped up with the video because it happens with all of her videos. Again, I don't know. This is my 2 cents, and I'm just sharing what hopefully was the situation in terms of hopefully it was just her normal automation setup that she had, which we'll talk about the dangers of that if you don't already figure it out. The automation that she has set up. And so she uploaded the video, figured it was done, good to go, and then that auto-populated and she didn't realize. That's what I'm going to go with. Now, if it was me, I would definitely be sure to keep up with the comments, or at least do my best, and then also go back and edit that description and remove that because it's not appropriate, right? If you're a business owner and you're trying to apologize or speak on something very that your customers are upset about, you don't try to sell them right after. Like that's just weird. That's like we might have had a moment and now it's transactional. It's like, well, what? I guess that wasn't a moment. I guess it was just me. So that's what I want you to pay attention to is the feelings and the actions that we all have. And sometimes we need someone to pause and speak about it so then that way we can realize it. Now, this brings up that automation part. A lot of us, and let me know even if you're watching the replay, have some form of automation in our business. Doesn't have to be on social media, but just in anything. We have a process, we have a system. It could be as simple as, your inbox and filtering it so that when new messages come in with XYZ or from XYZ, go into this folder or get this tag. So there's automation everywhere. And some are safer than others in terms of like your inbox. That's only you checking it or your VAs or whoever. And that information is just there. But then we have automation set up here on social media, like I mentioned with the YouTube channel and having text auto-populate in the description, which can get us into trouble, right? And that's why it's very important that even if you set up these automations, it's still important for you to still take a look at them, to get a notification. I have a system set up where if I post something, I can also share it somewhere else, but I also make sure that I get that notification so that way it makes me stop whatever I'm doing and say, oh, that's right, I posted it here. And so then I can go there and double check to make sure that that post was good. Because, sometimes you're going to just post, and let's say it's your Facebook page, you're going to post something that's very specific to Facebook, and then you forget that you actually have it going out on Twitter or LinkedIn or wherever. And so maybe you don't want those over there. And so then you have to go there and remove it. But if you don't have that notification set up, then how are you going to get that reminder? You know what I'm saying? So really understand that automation can be great and it can save you a lot of time, but you can't just set it and forget it. You have to be able to check on it. It's just like you guys, credit cards, business credit cards. Let's talk about that for a second. We're talking a side note here, but it's very important. One of my credit cards had gotten picked up. I'm guessing the scammer was somewhere because someone in Georgia was able to get mine info from California, and they decided to treat themselves to Domino's for $70. You guys, I don't know. I can't make this stuff up, but I'm like, if you're going to steal someone's credit card and you're going to get pizza, at least treat yourself to Round Table. Step it up a little bit, like $70 at Domino's. Come on. Come on. Anyway, so I usually check my expenses every day because the way we live today, I mean, at the end of the day, you could be completely wiped out if someone got your card, right? And so you have to understand that it's important to check your finances. And I don't know about you, but I check them every day, or in this case, it was 3 days late, whatever, things happen. But I try to keep a really close eye on my expenses and where my transactions are. So I didn't catch that because I waited 3 days before looking at it. I was like, oh, Domino's? I don't need it, Domino's. And that's when I had to call the credit card company, and thankfully I did right away because the next day they tried to do another $70 at Domino's and then $1,500 at Wayfair. So I guess they were trying to, upgrade the couch or something. I don't know. But the point is that we can't just sign up for something, a credit card, a social media platform, automation system, or whatever, and then set it up and then forget about it. We have to keep checking every day, every time something goes out. Because when we do that, when we stay on top of it, when we're aware of it, we are able then to catch those mistakes or get ahead of the curve, right? We can get ahead of the problem if we're paying attention. Otherwise, if we don't pay attention, things get lost in translation and they're going to be swept under the rug until you can't sweep anymore underneath the rug. There's going to be a big old lump. And then it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to come clean. And then that's going to be an issue. So, I don't know. Now I'm just talking. I go with inspiration as it comes up. But hopefully that works, and that's what you guys are enjoying and can connect with. But that's a big one, is that to really pay attention to what your customers are saying. You should be monitoring the conversation online. And when I say that, I mean pick your platform. Pick the one that you want to really show up, deliver, and engage on. You can be on them all, but you can't be great at all of them. You have to pick the one that really you want to just nail down. For me, it's Facebook. That's why you don't see me talk a whole lot about Instagram. That's why you don't see me post a ton on Instagram. It's because it's just not my thing. Every so often I'll get like an Instagram, oh, let's do this, yeah. But no, my conversation is here because you guys are here, because we can really connect. And you want to see what connection does? I want to show you guys this because some of you might have missed this post. I'm really, really proud of this and excited. And you guys can have this too. It's just a lot of work. Check this out. That, my friends, is organic growth. That's what it means to show up, deliver, and engage. Look at that. 600 reach organically. And this is my business Facebook page at Ed Troxel Creative. That's what you're seeing here. This is a lot of work. Hopefully some of your pages look like this. Maybe some are even better than this, which would be awesome. But that is what I want to start seeing more of. And I got to tell you, it's a lot of work. You really have to be dedicated to it, which is why you have to pick one platform that you really want to own and then share what you need to there. And again, it's not about just sharing content just to share content. Like I said, this past week, if you haven't been seeing the posts, oh my gosh, like the posts this week, I'm even still like, wow, they have just been really powerful. And I try to add my own personal 2 cents to it, right? In terms of, it's not just me sharing the post, assuming that you guys will click on it because it's great. It's me sharing the post and giving an action. For instance, like we saw here, let me go back to the influencer one, which is amazing. So on the influencer one here, So many business lessons here. What's one lesson you pulled out of this? That's all I asked, one lesson. And when you read the comments, some people put a couple things, which was awesome. Some just put one. Like it sparked such a great conversation, and it was awesome. So really, don't just post, but be intentional about your post. Another one. This one was really good, and I'm really surprised that it got as much reach as it did, because when you share other content from other pages and stuff, sometimes the share is not that great. But I talked about how this was an excellent video, and then I talk about how you don't always have to be in front of the camera in order to be successful. The reason I talk about that is based off of this video, so you'll want to watch that. And then at the very end, I said, what did you take away from this video? It's a short, I think it's only 7 minutes, super powerful, and it really shows you about showing up, delivering, and engaging, just like we talk about here on the show. So understand that when you post, you want to be intentional. You want to give just a little extra. Carla says, you do put in a lot of work. Oh, thank you, Carla. Yeah, it is a lot of work. It's a good thing I love this. I liked this one. She was inspirational. She was, yeah. And if you guys don't know about this, I'm not going to tell you much because I want you to watch it and then comment. But it's really impressive. And as you can see, it says here, meet Cardi B and Beyonce's songwriter. Super powerful. And the fact that she still has goals. You guys, she is amazing. And watch the video. She talks about her accomplishments. And yet she still has goals. She still has goals on her whiteboard. Just a few, not to be overwhelming. Just some big ones. And it's like, yes, that's what we all need to have. As business owners, our job doesn't stop once we reach our goals. We set new ones and we keep moving forward. So it kind of goes back to the beginning when we were talking about the influencer and how she has 500,000 followers. Like that might be your goal, to get 500,000 followers or even 100,000 or 100 followers. And that's fine if that's your goal. But I want you to stretch that goal and I want you to turn it into an action. Because having 100 followers or however many followers doesn't mean anything if you don't have that engagement. It doesn't. No one's going to buy from you. No one's going to tell you what they need and show you what they need if you don't have that engagement. So having a number count is pointless. So really think about, what does that translate to for you? So if that was a goal of yours, 100 followers, or put in whatever number, take that to the next level and say, okay, 100 followers, but of that 100 followers, I want at least to connect with 50 of them. Okay, so there's an action, right? You want to connect with 50 of your followers. So what does that mean you have to do? That means you have to do all of this. Show up, deliver, and engage with each of those 50 followers. See how that works? You can't just say, I want 100 followers, because that doesn't do anything. That's not going to translate to anything. You have to take that number and then break it down. 50 of those followers are going to be people that I reach out to that I want to connect with. So then you're going to connect with them one-on-one and publicly too. Don't forget about being public. It's very important, because that's a cross promotion for both of you. That's why I always tell you, engage in the comments here, because not only during the live broadcast, but on the replay, because that will allow you to be seen, will allow you to be heard. And all of this goes onto my website, my blog, which gets indexed by Google, which then puts your name attached to my stuff. So therefore, you can kind of get boosted up in the Google rankings. In a way, basically, we saw that on the show here, is that when people are searching for your name, if you've commented on my stuff, you could be potentially higher up in the search ranks tied to me. And isn't that cool? Especially for those who maybe don't have a blog yet, or whose blog is not really moving too fast. It's pretty crazy. And Tammy, yeah, let's connect. Whoop, whoop. Exactly. That's the thing. And again, you guys, some of you may not remember this, and I try to bring it up as much as possible. Social media started with Facebook and Twitter, and it said, join the conversation at. Keyword conversation. Technically 2 keywords. Join conversation. So you have to understand that we quickly went away from that, and we're trying to bring that back. I'm trying to bring that back because I never went away from that, and thankfully that's just how I've been ever since I was a kid. So it's one of those things that we have to remember. It's about the conversation. It's about connecting with people. It's about connecting with you and your audience. And how does it make you feel? And what do we need? And what do we really want? And taking that first response, X amount of followers, and breaking it down. What does that mean? How am I going to get those followers? How am I going to understand them? What am I trying to do? Right? So that's what I want you to think about and understand that we have so many things right in the palm of our hands, and we just have to utilize them and not forget them. Like, don't set them and forget them, okay? So anyway, I think that's all I had to cover with you guys today. I talked about the influencer, by the way, for those just joining. I did talk about the influencer on my latest episode of I'll put it right here. Duh, I have it right here. I'll put it in the comments for you, for those who want to listen to the latest podcast episode. Because I talk about negative reviews, how to respond to them, because that was one of the topics that we covered. So anyway, that's good. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a great week. If you need anything, you know where to find me here on the page. And if you haven't checked it out yet, check out the Hey Ed Network. It's awesome. And it will definitely make you feel good because you won't be so stressed with all the tech challenges that you face or the business obstacles. It's amazing. So you can check that out at heyednetwork.com. And until next week, I will see you later. All right, take care.